If you have ever looked at a funding rate and thought, that number never seems to change, you were right. And the reason has nothing to do with the market being calm. Search the question and you find people guessing. Low volatility, balanced positioning, the venue not bothering to update it. All three are wrong, and the actual answer has been sitting in the formula the whole time, published by the venues themselves, in documentation anyone can open. I'm Rachel from ChainSense. In the next 4 minutes, the clamp sitting inside the funding formula, the arithmetic that turns it into a band 10 basis points wide, and the second dead zone hiding inside the first. One line of recap, then we do the work. The funding rate equals the premium plus a clamp on the interest component minus that premium, bounded at plus or minus 0.05%. The interest component sits at 0.01%. That is everything today needs. How the premium itself is measured was the last episode, linked below. The word doing the work here is clamp. A clamp does nothing at all until its input tries to exceed a bound. Inside the bound, it passes the value straight through, untouched. So, when does this one actually bite? The clamp bites when the interest component minus the premium goes past 0.05% in either direction. So find the 2 points where it is exactly at the bound. Interest minus premium equals plus 0.05 happens when the premium is minus 0.04%. Interest minus premium equals minus 0.05 happens when the premium is plus 0.06%. Between those two, the clamp is doing nothing. It passes interest minus premium through exactly as it arrived, which means the funding rate is the premium, plus interest minus the premium. And the premium cancels itself out. What is left is the interest component, on its own, regardless of where inside that range the premium actually sat. Look at what we just found. From minus 0.04 to plus 0.06 is a span of 0.10%, 10 basis points. Anywhere inside that span, the funding rate is not approximately the interest component. It is exactly the interest component, every time. And notice where the span sits. It is not centered on zero. It is centered on the interest component itself, which is why the whole thing is offset upward by that 1 basis point. Outside the band, the behavior changes completely. There, the clamp is truncating, the premium stops canceling, and the rate moves with the premium at a fixed offset. So the mechanism has two modes: perfectly insensitive inside, fully responsive outside. Now, the part that matters when you actually look at a screen. A rate parked on the interest component tells you one thing only. The premium is somewhere inside a 10 basis point band. It does not tell you positioning is balanced. It does not tell you volatility is low. On a liquid pair, most of the time, that is simply where the premium lives. And here is the inversion. People read the constant number as the signal and ignore the movement. It is the other way round. A still rate is the clamp doing its job and carries almost no information. A rate that moves is telling you something specific, that the premium has left the band entirely. The number everyone watches is the one saying least. There is a second one, nested inside the first, and it comes from how the premium is built. The premium comes from the impact bid and the impact ask, the prices you would actually get for meaningful size. And when the index price sits between those two, the premium index returns zero. Not close to zero. Zero structurally, by construction. So follow it through. A zero premium sits comfortably inside the 10 basis point band, which puts the funding rate at exactly the interest component. Again, two independent mechanisms at two different layers, both capable of producing the same constant number. One in the formula, one in the input to the formula. Neither has anything to do with the market being quiet. So the next time you see that number sitting perfectly still, you know what it is reporting. Not calm, not balance. A bound doing exactly what a bound does. That constant rate isn't a signal, it's the clamp. Subscribe to ChainSense. I'm Rachel. See you in the next one.